let's hear from one of our graduates who benefited from the Start Smart program that Exellys offered him. Louis de Villecavelin is here with us. He started 2 years ago at Swift as an analyst in the services marketing team, and he integrated on Swift payroll at the beginning of this month. Louis, thanks for joining us here in today's event. As a first question to you, what was your academic and professional career like before joining Exellys?
Thank you, Leslie, for the introduction, and hi, everyone. So my academic background is that I studied business administration and IT in Montreal, in Canada, so far from here. And when I was graduated, I started to work at Pfizer for 2 years. And I really liked my job. It was a good combination between logistics and IT. I decided to leave Canada and to come back closer to my roots because I'm French, but my girlfriend was actually located nearby Brussels. So I decided to come back living in Europe. And I was looking for a job at that moment, so 3 years ago. I got in contact with Exellys through LinkedIn. So I was looking for different job offers. I had multiple contacts with other companies, but it's actually Exellys that really, really attracted me. Actually, what I found with Exellys during the process as being a candidate was that the contact was made very easy by the talent scouts. I felt like it was enough personal so that I didn't have to oversell myself. You know, sometimes you feel during job interviews that you have to oversell yourself, but here it was really like a conversation rather than a presentation. And that was my first contact with Exellys, with Mathilde, who's a talent scout. Yes, then we went through the process. Later, I had to pass some tests that were not easy, that were challenging. And I really felt like Exellys could offer me a challenging workplace and would be a good fit for me to still fill the gaps that I felt as being a young professional, just leaving university not so long ago. And I really felt that Exellys was the answer to those gaps in terms of soft skills and hard skills. And I also was convinced that the list of customers from Exellys were quite prestigious, and I really wanted to work for one of them. That's how it started. So yes.
Okay. Thanks for that. You mentioned the challenging selection procedure, Louis. Let me hereby compliment you and all of the Exellys consultants in the room, because in 2019, our talent scouts have screened 2,156 candidates, and you are part of the 60 consultants who received the contract and started working for one of Exellys customers. So congratulations to all of you for being part of the 2.1% top talents. Louis, back to you. What did you enjoy most at Exellys?
Right. So if I come back 2 years ago, when I had my first conversation with Exellys, when I was in the starting block to start the first interviews with potential clients, I really liked the fact that I was heard, that my needs were really heard, and that Exellys was looking for a mission that would work for me as well as work for the client. Always looking for the win-win situation, and that's how they found the opportunity at Swift. I was keen to work in an international environment. I was also keen to keep that business perspective that I got in my first working experience and in my studies, and to be able to link this business mindset with IT needs, so needs from customers. In the context of Swift, the customers would need some IT products, and I would have to understand the business value provided by those IT solutions. So I was keen to start the mission at Swift when it was identified and when Swift was in to have me on board. So that's one first thing, to have felt that my needs were really heard by Exellys. The second aspect that I really enjoyed was the autonomy that we were given in terms of how we can use the training budget. So we had a common training, so group trainings, which were quite good. So the instructors were often some leaders, so they had like very high leadership roles in their organization. So it was not only theoretical, they could really bring their experience when they were sharing their insights during the training sessions. So I like this group part, but I also like the fact that we were autonomous in what we could choose. And as a matter of fact, we weren't obliged to look for the training that was really linked with our mission at the customer. We could also be curious about new skills, new or hard skills, and I really like that because I think it's always nice to obviously to broaden your perspective. You earn a lot by doing that, but I think the customer also earns a lot to have a young consultant that is willing to do his job better, but also to look at the broader spectrum of potential other missions in the organization. So I like that as well. And last but not least, the relationship with my coach, so you, Leslie, I really felt it evolved during the 2 years. It was a relationship of trust. Anytime if I had an issue at my customer or a doubt, I was very keen to communicate on that doubt with my coach because I knew you are certified coaches, so I knew you would try to look the best for the best solution for me as being a consultant, but I knew also that we obviously had a business relationship with the customer, and it was always the fact to look at a win-win situation as well. And I shared some doubts during the 2 years. I think that's normal when we're young professionals. And Leslie, as being a coach, always came up with some pragmatic approaches that I could use in my day-to-day job. So, for instance, in Swift, it's really a networking company based. So it's very important to know who has the knowledge, rather to take a lot of time to build yourself the knowledge. Sometimes it's very important to know who knows what you're looking for, and it was very new for me to have that, to be in a very international context, 3 time zones, and having to build relationships with a variety of stakeholders. And Leslie came up with a plan for me to more proactively do some coffee breaks with my stakeholders and trying to build that relationship. And it really helped me to find the knowledge in the best way, and also to build that credibility with my stakeholders, rather than always having to send some emails. So it was very pragmatic in that approach, and I was really liking the fact that also Leslie was using his previous experiences feed me with good solutions to solve my challenges. And actually, I have a question for you, Leslie. I was wondering, like, what were your motivations to actually become a coach?
Oh boy, this was supposed to be about you, Louis. But, well, before joining Exellys, I spent 15 years at HP, one of our customers, of which 7 years in a leadership position. And I discovered that I was managing my team in a coaching mindset, and it inspired me to motivate my team on both individual and team level to achieve their own objectives, but also the team's joint objectives. And by the way, one of my team members was an Exellys consultant. The business model of Exellys intrigued me to the extent that I eventually gave a call to Raf, the founder of Exellys back then, to see whether I could switch from Exellys customer to Exellys employee. And yes, I can confirm that now 3 years later, being a talent development manager within Exellys has been a very good, a rewarding decision. Hearing what nice compliments you have in store for me, for which many thanks, Louis. Much appreciated. But as said, enough about me. Back to you. Now that you have finalized your 2 years with us and you're now on Swift payroll since the beginning of this month, do you have any feedback for Exellys?
Yes, I do. So one being continuous improvement. I think this is something that is very important to Exellys, and I would urge Exellys to keep doing that. Being a consultant, we always have to fill up some surveys, which are really quick to fill up after an event. I think it's very important to use those feedbacks on really a continuous basis, but also to show to the consultants that you're using the feedback with solutions or very pragmatic decisions, because it keeps the community onboarded, right? But I really felt that the feedback I was providing was used by Exellys, so I just urge you to keep doing that. A second feedback I would have is about actually, so we are alumni, and I was very happy to hear that you have a plan for alumni, because I think we are a strong community. We are building our knowledge in our different missions. We have different skills. Some are more business oriented, some are more programming oriented, for instance, or data driven, and it's super rich. So I think it will be excellent to keep that community living, and within which we will be able to still share some insights and some challenges, and having some very thrilling discussions together. I think it will be super important. And maybe one last one, it's about the hackathon. I really liked the hackathon to be able to work especially with consultants that have different views and different skills, some that are more business oriented, some that are more IT oriented, and look for a common solution. I think it would be nice to look at the future on how to take that to a further step, to even make the solution happening, actually. Because we were working on hackathon that were super interesting, but I was like, it would be even better if we could actually create the solutions afterwards. But maybe nothing is actually keeping us from doing that. So it's probably a feedback for me as well.
Well, you're probably right that if you want to go into production with your idea, the first initiative is on your own shoulders, but we could indeed investigate on our side as well for the people who are interested in taking the idea into production. How can we help in finding investors, finding customers, the viability of your solution? That's something that we can take with us. Anything else in terms of feedback, Louis?
that's all. And yeah, I think I haven't told that, but you have seen it on my smile, and yeah, I'm very happy to join Swift.
And I think that Swift is also happy with having you on board. Peter doesn't have the possibility to speak here in this platform, but I'm sure that he is smiling as well. Right, many thanks, Louis, for sharing your experience. And as already said to you in person, all the best with your future career within Swift.